At the end of the day, nobody wants to admit it, but there are two good video games. There's Doom, and then there's Doom. Doom was spectacular when it was released, and even to this day, it's remarkably endearing. Even though it doesn't know what the Y-axis is, it is still very fun to play today, and combined with punchy and satisfying weapons and an excellent soundtrack inspired by 80s metal, there's no question that the game is still worth playing today, as long as you got those mouse configurations. But then there's Doom. Doom is like Doom, except with graphics, which is great. That's the one thing Doom was missing. Now, whether Doom is better than Doom or vice versa is a matter of opinion, but what if it didn't have to be that way? What if there was a way to put the Doom inside of the Doom? Well, we're gonna find out. Before anything else, you're going to want to preheat the oven to an extremely arbitrarily high temperature. So you're going to want to take your Doom and your Doom. You're going to add some vanilla extract and a lemon. You're going to want to put these inside of a large mixing bowl and stir it around with a wooden spoon. You don't want to stir it too much. The chemistry is very delicate, so you don't want to deactivate the leavening agent. Chuck it in the oven for 7 hours. And then boom, Doom is now Doom in Doom 4 Vanilla. Doom 4 Vanilla is a mod for classic Doom that turns it into Doom 2016. Now, I love both of those games dearly, so this was a godsend. It's like eating a cheeseburger and then getting halfway through it and finding out that the cheeseburger has a hot dog inside of it too. Actually, that'd probably be nasty. But the point is, it's two of a thing that I like very much coming together, which is incredibly special. Historically, in my worst moments when I'm sad or depressed or lonely or feeling unfulfilled, Doom has never failed to cheer me up, except for when it did. After beating Doom 3 recently, I was feeling extremely unsatisfied, and that's what Doom 3 is. It's remarkably unsatisfying. That should have been the tagline. Remarkably unsatisfying. BFG edition. So my discovery of Doom 4 Vanilla kinda came at a perfect time, because it actually feels like Doom, like a very doomy Doom, which Doom 3 did not. Doom 4 Vanilla, I think, is intended heavily for Doom 2, but it also works with the original game as well. On the surface, the improvements are immediately clear. You have updated sprite work for all the weapons and enemies and items, all of which is based on Doom 2016, and it gives the game an entirely new look. The original game was dark and moody to an extent, but it was also fairly cartoonish in its own way. By updating all these sprites in the Doom 16 style, the atmosphere is much more scary and intense, and combined with the benefits of GZ Doom, the game looks phenomenal. This mod also brings in a lot of the sound effects from Doom 16 as well. They traded out the royalty-free sound effects of the original game with the extremely thumpy and powerful sound effects of 16. And to be honest, the game feels so much better because of it. Every single thing you do in this game feels far more impactful and powerful than it ever did in the original game.
How was that?
These audio-visual changes alone breathe a lot of new life into this golden oldie and revitalize it with the vigor of youth. Not to mention, the game has a couple of new remixes, like a meaty version of Doom 4's rendition of E1M1. The game also has a remix of BFG Division, which in this game sounds more cute than anything else. But it's not just graphics and sound effects that come with this mod. More importantly, the enemies now behave more like the enemies from Doom 16 as well, which makes for a much more intense game than the original. The Baron of Hell can now do this jump slam, which does a lot of damage, let me tell ya. The Pinky Demons can now charge at you like a raging fucking bull in a china shop. You have these guys now who I despise. You got this bitch who I hate even more somehow, and all of this cranks the game up to a ridiculous degree. But it's not just the enemies who are faster and more powerful now. Doom Guy himself now runs faster than he did in the original, and the weapons are way more powerful, and he can now jump, which I think is a part of the mod, although it could also be a part of GZ Doom, but I don't think it is. In fact, I don't even know why I brought it up. Adding jumping to classic Doom is very funny. The original game technically had no actual Y-axis because the game isn't actually 3D. It's just 2D map data converted to 3D in real time with some very clever programming tricks. But that all changes when you use 3D accelerated graphics. Yes, graphics.
It's graphics process, yes.
Since the original games weren't actually 3D, they didn't have any reason to jump, so the game was built with the inability to jump in mind. Which is to say that now that you can jump, you can pretty much break the entire game and invalidate half of the puzzles. I would feel bad for exploiting it, but I mean, I played classic Doom a billion times in my life, so I think I earned the right to cheat just a tiny bit. On the other hand, Doom has always been extremely friendly with modders and hackers, so exploiting the things that the hacks add to the game, in my opinion, does absolutely no disrespect to the legacy of the game. On the contrary, it's a sign of deep respect. Modders are the lifeblood of Doom. They have kept this game relevant for almost 3 decades now, so playing mods is like your civic duty as a Doom fan. Back to the actual game. I don't know if I imagined it, but there seem to be a lot more enemies in this version of the game than in the original version. Granted, I was playing on Nightmare difficulty, which I strongly recommend if you want to get the most out of the game. Playing this game on Nightmare difficulty is such an incredibly fun and addicting experience. Just this dance of constant movement and shooting at such an intense pace is phenomenal. And with the smoother controls and mechanics afforded by GZ Doom, the game often feels more enjoyable than the vanilla game. The game doesn't just feel like a generic video game crossover, it feels like an honest-to-God legitimate way to play Doom. Like, if your PC can't run Doom 16, I would honestly recommend this as a substitute. It really is that fun, and it gets my stamp of approval. So now you have a choice. You can go play the Halo Infinite beta like a little baby shit, or you can be a man and play a mod for a game that came out 28 years ago. Make your choice, because I already have. Hey cousins, it's me again, coming at you in a candid manner to thank you again for watching the video and for the continued support. Life has a way of getting me down and being a dick, and just overall not being particularly fun or fulfilling all the time, and at the center of it all is these videos which make me feel like I have some kind of purpose in this world. I know they're just stupid-ass YouTube videos, but I enjoy making them, and it makes me really happy that even a small number of people think they're worth watching, so thank you very much for stopping by. On the off chance that some of you are wondering why I made 2 videos in the span of a couple days based on Doom, there is no conspiracy here. I just really like Doom. Like, that's the conspiracy. Except when it's the bad Doom from the other video. I don't like that one very much. The other ones, though, I like the other ones. I especially love the mod I just played, which there'll be a link to the original release video for the mod in the description, so definitely check that out because they did some real fine work on this thing, so be sure to go into their comment section and say, hey man, you made a good mod, or something like that. I don't know. Otherwise, this has been real fun, but I gotta get back to playing Animal Crossing New Leaf on my Nintendo 3DS, so thank you very much for watching, and I guess I'll see you sometime next week.